Yo, what's up, YouTube family, man? Your boy's back with a new vlog, man. I've been waiting to spit this out for so long, man. Just trying to get my thoughts together, trying to process how I wanted to put this out, man, and going through a bunch of editing and looking at myself and critiquing. And I feel like I got it. I feel like I got it, man. I feel like I got something that I just really want to share with you guys. And I want to talk about how it's been feeling to go through my spiritual awakening, right? There's no other way of saying it. It's like how people are like, hey, you're woke or whatnot. I looked up the word woke and what woke meant for people that say that it's just a time where people start to become more aware of racism and injustice and inequality for black people. That's what they call being woke. But my thing is, like, that's something that goes on around the globe that happens to just more than one race of people. Where we have to finally realize and accept that we are one race, the human race. It's got nothing to do with our color, man, and ethnicity, none of that stuff. It's got everything to do with we are one. So going through the spiritual awakening, I discovered these are some of the things that, not want to say I discovered that from going through a spiritual awakening, but it's something I already had knew about. My thoughts, like, we all come, if you guys believe in the Bible, right, and believe in Adam and Eve, then those are the first humans. So we are created from a legacy from Adam and Eve. So that would make us all one right there, right? I mean, right? If that's what you believe. But outside of that, we are one race of people. We need to learn how to start helping each other to grow and function here on Earth. We take care of Earth. We don't do a good job of that. We treat Earth like it's a toilet bowl when this is actually our heaven, and we're making it our hell, right? So we got to come together to do right by this place. So part of my spiritual awakening is gaining a higher level of consciousness. Like, that's basically what happens, is you start to think outside of the box. Now, to me, I feel like you should be alone as you go through this process, because there are going to be a lot of people who do not understand you. And when people don't understand things, they get aggravated and frustrated with it. And you do not want to have to keep explaining yourself to people what's happening to you when you don't even know what's happening to you. You know, you don't fit in anymore. You like to isolate. You like your time to yourself because you feel like, honestly, I'm the only one that understands me. Like in one of Jay-Z verses in the Drake song, like, Jay-Z says that, I don't want no more friends no more. Nobody understands me. And it's true. When you start to think, like I said, outside the box and ask these questions, where did we come from? Why am I here, right? Like, what is my purpose? In order for me or anyone to find their purpose, they're going to have to start aligning themselves with people who are just as creative as them, who have the same ideas, who have the same type of resources and want to help each other strive, create, and then succeed. You have to find people like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna find it with the people that you with right now, those friends that you have right now, right? People come into your life for seasons, and the friends and family, trust me, friends and family that you have right now, that they're for the season. Now with your family, your bloodline, like, you're obligated to have them in your life. I know, like, you just are. You didn't ask for your parents. You didn't ask for your siblings. But damn it, you got them. And you guys are part of that lifeline. And how you're going to sustain that legacy. Like, what's going to happen to the rich thing? So you start trying to align yourself with people who have the exact same, who share similarities to what you have going on and what's your purpose. And when you don't align with people who are like that and that continue to be a part of your life, they suck and drain the energy from you that you're going to need to push into finding your purpose. You're going to have to put 100% focus into finding out who you are, right? It's going to be a lot of inner work that you're going to have to do. It's going to be a lot of suffering and a lot of pain when you start to go back in time and discover why you act the way that you do, right? And then you're going to look at your friends and be like, man, I don't think that's right. Because another part of this awakening, man, is that for me is that I've become just so kind and gentle. I guess some people call it being a BAN. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to curse over here, man, but y'all know what I mean by saying this. Like, you become sensitive. And being a man, a black man at that, we can't be sensitive for any reason whatsoever. It was embedded in our DNA, or epigenetic, so to say, like Kenya Barris say. It was embedded in our DNA to be strong and confrontational and competitive, because we have to outdo each other if we want to make it here, right? That's not how it has to be. That's how we were trained since the slavery times, man, to be the best. They lined us up next to each other, and they was like, I want that one. I want that one. Right? They pit us together before we could even understand what it even meant. We've always been in conflict, a confrontation with each other, trying to be the best, and that's another thing that's going to hurt, or either just piss off other people. Because if you're going through this transition in your life, they're gonna look at you like, why you and why not me, right? Like, oh, and when you speak to people and ask them questions, because now you want to know everything, you question everything, they're gonna look at you like, oh, you think you're better than us. But that's one thing. That's another thing where they're wrong, because going through this process, I don't feel that way. In fact, I feel the total opposite, because I understand. I can't judge anybody. What's the word? What's that? Judge ye unless ye be judged, or whatever it is, or like make sure you get that speck out of your eye before you get the plank out of yours. How these sayings go, right? But these are sayings in the Bible. I've been reading the Bible too during this spiritual awakening, because I said, like, I got questions. You're going to have a lot of questions. You're going to want those answers. And the only way to get those answers is you do your research. And you're not going to be able to do the research that you want to do if you're surrounded by people who have a different thought, a different mindset. I want the answers. They feel like they have the answers already. And when you guys try to sit down and have a conversation, it turns into a debate, or it turns into an argument. I'm not trying to argue and debate. I want to know my purpose. I want to know why. What's your purpose? We're all here for a reason. Everything is here for a reason. The animals, like, I don't want to hurt things anymore. You know, I try my best to, like, when there's bugs in the house, I pick them up and take them outside. And then my wife be making fun of me, because she's like, there was a spider in the house, and I went and got a paper towel to take the spider outside. And she was like, if that was one of them big ass spiders, you wouldn't have did that. You know what? She might be right, because them big ass spiders are a lot different. I don't know if they're going to bite me or not, you know, but this little small one, I can get them up out of there. So you start to come kind to everything, and you have a lack of bias. Everything for you shifts and changes. And I'm saying for you that it's best that you're alone during this time, because people aren't going to understand that. And they are going to judge you, because they're going to be they're so used to who you used to be, but you're changing. You're not the same. That happened to me. And even when talking to my wife about this, I'm like, dude, like, everybody's doing this and everybody's doing that and blah, blah, blah. But like, in actuality, it was me. I changed. And I didn't see it at first. I was like, man, everybody's crazy. Everybody's retarded. They stupid. They just don't get it. But like, no. It's me. I'm changing, and I'm starting to see the world different. I'm starting to want to know why things happen the way that they do. And I felt like I was going crazy. You feel like you're going crazy as you go through this thing, right? So I'm not all the way out of it yet. And for me to be able to say that is huge, right? Because it's part of shedding the ego. You're going to shed your ego as you go through your spiritual awakening, right? You're not the same. You don't carry that same pride, right? You let down your guards, and you want to treat people like you want to be treated. And when you come in contact with people who still want to treat people poorly, then you start to move around from them. I'm going to tell y'all something out there. If any of y'all have friends who scam people, who lie, who cheat, who hurt people physically, mentally, right, emotionally, if y'all have friends who do that, trust me, they will do it to you too. And there's a reason why you're still friends with a person like that, because there are parts of you, right, that keep you guys relatable. There are parts of you that you have to fix. See, there were the parts of me that I had to look at and be like, man, this is not how I would like to treat other people. This is not how I feel. And if this is not how I feel, then I have to change. I have to. Because I no longer want to succeed at the expense of another person. I don't want to succeed anymore at the expense of another person failing. See, succeeding for me, right, is seeing how many people that I can take with me to the top. How many people here on earth are ready to make this transition to where I no longer need the material things of earth in order for me to make it and get by, right? I no longer need other people's affirmations. I no longer need people to affirm me, to say, oh, he's good. I trust him. I don't need that anymore because I trust me. I believe in me. And I'm ready to do the work that needs to be done in order to get out there and show others that, hey, man, you got the juice. You do. You just got to believe in you. You got to start shedding all that old. You'll never be able to become the best version of you if you do not shed that old. All this is part of the spiritual awakening, right? The woke or whatever you want to call it, right? Is getting rid of all that old stuff, man, so you can step into the new. You don't want to take that old luggage with you. You don't want to carry that stuff around, right? So for those out there who are single right now, I suggest don't go find somebody to be with. Stop looking for a boyfriend, stop looking for a girlfriend. I mean, anyway, if you're my age, you're too old to talk about boyfriend and girlfriend stuff anyway. You know? That's why I use the word partner, because this is an experiment to see if we are going to be compatible enough to stay together for the long run, right? Nobody's trying to get with anybody right now with the intentions of not getting married. What the fuck I want to date around for? Sorry, I cursed. But why do I want to date around with people for? Why do I want to put my health at risk sleeping around with people trying to figure out if this is the one? Why do you want to do that? Like these are all the things that you're going to start to realize about yourself. You're going to think about your energy. You're going to think about your physical health, your mental health, right? Your emotional well-being. You're going to think about all these things and how you're tired of letting other people run you down into the ground. This is why you're going to want to be alone, because nobody's going to understand that you want to change from feeling that way. They're not ready to do that. You're going to be around people who aren't ready for any of that. And it's still going to be about getting their money, right? Going out and having fun and all that. Like for me, money can come. You can do anything to get money. You can go get money right now. All you got to do is go get a job. It might not be the job that you like, but it's a job. And once another part of this spiritual awakening is if you get a job like that, you know, I have this job and this is a purpose why I have it. It's to pay my bills, not to go off and trick off. Not to go off and burn at the end of the week for happy hour. None of those things. I need to save. I need to start investing, start growing. You grow from what you have. You're not going to become, for y'all who talk about being millionaires, you're not going to become a millionaire working a 9 to 5. It's just not going to happen. You're going to have to start doing some personal development and start learning how to make your money make money for you. But that's another that's another show. I'm just saying to you guys what I have envisioned, what God has shown me, and what I have accepted. And no longer will I accept or tolerate nonsense on this journey. And I'm strong enough to say that I'm going through the mental aspects and the things that happened to me back then. So you guys are going to go through that. I made a video talking about how you can improve your mental health. 5 ways to improve your mental health. If you haven't checked it out, go back and check it out, right? I did a video on that. And I'm here to say that you're never going to get over what happened to you. You're not. If you suffer from depression, if you suffer from anxiety, if you suffer from schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, PTSD, these are things that are going to last with you for your entire life. But what you must do, right, is go seek help for it. This is the only time where I'm like, you can't do this part alone, right? Because a mental illness is not nothing to do with the spiritual, right? Right, you're gonna have to find out the symptoms that you're having as you go through your spiritual awakening and the symptoms of a mental disorder. You got to find those two out. Get help for those. Get help. We all need help out there, guys. We truly do. We all need help. Go find the help that you need. Go get you a therapist, right? A therapist is not supposed to be somebody that stays with you for your entire life. A therapist is supposed to help you unpack the things that happen to you and then sort through those packages, right? Open them up one by one, and then you learn to deal with that. You learn to deal with that. You learn what triggers you, right? Once you're able to do that on your own, with the help of your therapist, or the help of accountability, but our life coach. Once you get that help that you need, right, to make it, because this person is going to help you. You got something you have to do every single day. And remember, you're not going to be with your therapist or your life coach or your counselor every single day. You probably might see them one time a week. So for the rest of that week, you have to apply everything that you learned from them. That's how all that works. That's how life coaching works. That's how therapy works. That's how counseling works. But we all need somebody in that aspect, right? But going through your spiritual awakening, you take it, you tackle it head on. Everything that comes with it. I've tackled it head on. Everything that comes with it. I've lost so much. But I've gained so much more, right? The knowledge and wisdom. Every time you've had a question, anything like now that you've gone and researched and you've figured it out, it feels great. It feels wonderful. And I'm so happy. I had a partner had to explain to me what it truly meant to be happy. Because if you came up like how I came up, right? If you had the situations that I had coming up and coming into me, like it's bliss, because you never thought you could be here. Your mind has always been clouded with negative thoughts. And you had to reverse that, make it positive. Only way to make that stuff positive, man, is to feed yourself with positivity. Feed yourself with positive people, positive knowledge. When you're watching these shows, it needs to be something that builds you up, not tear you down, not put you in fear. Stop watching all these movies, these horror movies. They showing us mass murder. They're making death like commercial. They're making death something that we speak of every day in the household. They're making it okay. They desensitizing it. They're showing murder all the time. We got mass murders one every other day. So let's shut it off. I said it last week. Let's shut all that stuff off. Let's work on us. Let's get better, guys. Your spiritual awakening is coming. And if you got questions, trust me, hey, you can send me a message. Send me a message, man. Like if you a comment or something like that. Whatever y'all do in the YouTube world, man. I got an Instagram too. It's knowledge_1911. I'm gonna put that somewhere. So like you can DM me, because I would love to reach out and speak to people who are going through these transitions in life. Not only just the spiritual, but also if you're suffering from any type of mental disorder, if you're going through depression, if you're having anxiety. Like, I know these are trying times. The pandemic has weighed a lot on us. And for a lot of people out there, they were able to come out on top from that thing. But there are some who still suffering to this day. They're still afraid of this thing. They still haven't left the house. So we need to be more understanding as people go through this pandemic, because it's something none of us has ever gone through before. I'm only 41 and this stuff is happening right now. It's outside my door. I go back and talk to my great aunt, and she tells me, "What, ain't nothing new under the sun, though, Chad. These things have happened before. Just go do your research." So that's another big part of your spiritual awakening, that you want to do your research. So now you want to figure out what's going on. It's what's happening. You guys, y'all take care. I love you all, man. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you made it to the end of this video, man, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe, share it with your friends, man. I want to get myself out there and start trying to do my part in making this place a better place to live. You guys, take care. Peace.